Hey everybody, it's Dale.
And this is Eric.
And welcome to the Transformers Beast Wars podcast.
That you can find at OptimusPrimecast.com.
This week, episode number 12, Victory! Written by Wendy Reardon.
And directed by Steve Ball.
Pterosaur leads a rebellion against Megatron, and the ensuing fight accidentally blows up the Darksyde when an energon sample is hit. Thinking they have won the Beast Wars, the Maximals decide to salvage parts from the Predacon ship and go back to Cybertron. But the destruction of the Predacons turns out to be an elaborate ruse planned by the Predacons themselves.
Yeah, my alternate title to the screen is either Breaking Beast Wars or Bad TV is Meta.
My alternate title is Almost the Best Episode Ever.
Almost. Okay, so we open up with basically Megatron cooking meth.
Yes, yeah, they are doing it. That is a Breaking Bad scene, yeah.
Megatron's trying to, I guess, process like these energon crystals that they've harvested or they're holding on to. Mm-hmm. And they just keep on failing. And then, basically, I guess it was like Pterosaur gets fed up. That's it.
He tells Pterosaur to go get me another sample.
Yeah, go get me another. And he's like, no, you wasted enough. Mm-hmm. We need these.
I've had enough of following your incompetent leadership.
You wasted our precious energon crystals for the last time, Megatron!
And everyone, oddly enough, kind of gangs up and bands behind Pterosaur.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes,
even Waspinator.
Oh.
Waspinator wants to fight.
Yeah.
Even Scorponok.
Yeah.
Who hearts Megatron.
Yeah. Maybe it's just his unibrows kind of like unfurled a little bit. It's not quite right today. He's having a bad day.
Yeah.
But then you know it starts getting kind of rough, and then all of a sudden it kind of pans out, and we see that they're on a monitor of some sort.
Yes, the Rat Trap has snuck onto the Darksyde again to install a spy camera.
Yeah, they're taking a look and see what's going on.
Yeah, Rhinox had said, "Well, it looks like we installed that spy camera just in time." And Rat Trap's like, "What's this wee business? I'm the one who put my tail on the line."
You know, because he's the super spy.
Mm-hmm.
He does the spy things with the gadgets.
I wonder how much lava surfing he did while he was on the way.
Yeah. But yeah, and then, you know, Cheater's making cracks about, like, oh, I'm glad that we got cable.
Glad that we got cable, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a lot of kind of goofy stuff.
There was a few bad lines. Yeah, a few punny little anachronisms.
Yeah, and of course,
episode.
like we see, and it kind of starts seeing a little bit more staged at this point. And, like, Megatron's like, no, you fools, and they all start shooting at him.
You'll hit the meth. You'll hit the meth.
No! You fools! You hit the energon!
You'll hit the energon.
You'll hit the energon. He hides behind it, and then all of a sudden it explodes, and then everything goes to static, and it's just quiet with just white noise. Mm-hmm. And I think, like, I mean,
and then they felt the rumble.
Yeah, they felt the rumble over at the
Axalon.
At the Axalon, and I don't know. I really think that moment was actually really good. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, even though like,
a lot of
the lines
really
and everything,
good moments in this show.
We'll get to them.
We'll get to them.
But yeah, like the way that the actual scene played out, yeah, it was a little cornery, yeah, it was a little cheesy, but then like the explosion, the wake, the static, and then the silence for like 5 to 6 seconds.
Excellent direction.
Yeah, that was absolutely well done.
Oh man,
it's like, what's going on? And then, you know, even Prime is like, well, I guess this means we won the Beast Wars.
Yeah, so they have to go investigate.
Yeah,
and we cut to the Darksyde, whose tail is falling back into place.
Yeah, it was so big and devastating. There's another big hole in the Darksyde. Things are falling apart. The Maximals go to investigate.
There are no life signs.
Yeah, they're doing scans from the outsides. They can't find anything.
I loved Rhinox's tricorder. It's a gigantic rhinoceros tricorder.
Yeah.
He's standing there on 3 rhino legs with a big old rhino bracelet.
Yeah, it's a bit silly.
Yeah.
Like, why, you know, we see in the third episode, web episode, Optimus Primal is able to do a scan with his eyes. Mm-hmm. Why does Rhinox need to use the big tricorder?
Because everybody's taking more heavy damage.
And this isn't like your TNG type tricorder. This is the original type gun holding type tricorder that was in the original series.
It was huge. Yeah. He would have had it on a hip pack. It would have been a fanny pack if he was in battle mode.
Yeah.
Or stealth mode.
Which is very quiet, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so
So it's at that point that Optimus is saying, well, it looks like we've won.
yeah, let's go. We need to go inside, you know,
Because they want to salvage the ship and go home.
They're gonna go pick up the pieces and kind of rebuild the ship, rebuild the Axalon.
All right, let's pillage and plunder.
They want pieces for the space drive?
Yep, the space drive. And Optimus Primal takes this time to say, no, we're only here for space drive parts.
Yeah, only space drive parts. Don't get anything else, because even though all the Predacons are apparently dead,
This is a dangerous place.
it's still a dangerous place.
So, Rat Trap, who's
So-
like all swashbuckling and swinging pipes around like a sword, is like, hey, you know what? Yeah, this is dangerous. Maybe we should make all dino bags over here. I know he didn't say dino bags. But
Let's say we make old Chopperface go first.
But it's a chopper face.
yeah, Chopper Phase to go first. And Dinobot actually, agrees. He's like, yes, that is a good idea, you know?
Yes, that would be logical. I will take point.
It's like, okay, well, what's up with him? And Rat Trap's kind of like giving him guff and
He can't get a rise out of him.
bragging at everyone. He's like, man, what the heck's up with this guy? Like, I'm trying to do this, and I'm trying to poke his butt, press his buttons, his heart buttons, he says.
No. He just said I'm pressing all his buttons or flipping all his switches.
Man, I'm pushing all of his hot buttons, and I'm getting nada.
It was a regular thing. He wasn't talking
okay.
about his heart.
Okay.
Or his spark.
But he couldn't get a rise out of him. Then, Primal and a bunch of other people were like, dude, do you not realize where we are and what's going on here? Like, why? Why can't you figure this out?
Yeah.
And you got some really great moments in this episode with Dinobot kind of like...
Pensive Dinobot is pensive.
Yeah, like dealing with the what to do. Like, okay.
It's crazy how well they were able to have a robot face just from the posturing, from his the way that he carried himself, to kind of give you an insight as to what he was thinking.
Yeah.
It was bittersweet for him.
Yeah.
It was bittersweet for him, and he's got some of the same feelings that he had, last episode? At least one episode ago, maybe two, when they were going to... the probe.
Yeah, the probe episode. When it was the last
Yeah,
episode.
the probe episode.
God, that was such a sad freaking... What's up with the series, man?
They're fixing it.
Like, the first one, the probe, like, that probe episode ended on such a downer note, man. I was depressed all week. All week. And I just couldn't, I wasn't, eating.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time in bed.
Oh, really? I felt good for Dinobot, though. At least he got to hang out with his friends more.
Yeah, I guess that's that.
You know.
I don't want to talk about this man anymore. I
Okay.
just can't do this with you.
All right.
So, but yeah, Dinobot's really kind of feeling... He's got the feels, man. He's got the feels going on.
This whole thing has gotten him all up in his feels.
Yeah. So, they start looking around, and they don't find anything. They get to the chamber where the space drive is, and they start, cannibalizing it.
Yeah, they start getting engine parts. And Rat Trap, and Dinobot goes off to go do Dinobot things.
Yeah, he's going to go look around the ship some more.
Yeah, well, he said something that was just kind of like, I'm going to dilly-dally someplace else.
I will reconnoiter elsewhere.
Yeah.
And Rat Trap is still not getting it.
Yeah.
He's like, one thing that he said was, because he's still talking about, he's still a Predacon, we can't trust him. And then the one thing that he says that was, that I actually wrote down.
With the enemy gone, who else is he going to fight?
Yeah, and...
Because he's a soldier.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that Rat Trap brings up in this discussion that really make a lot of sense. Here's Rat Trap again. Yeah, the... comic relief.
He's a butt face, but he's a
makes
smart
no
butt
sense
face.
and everything else. But occasionally he has these nuggets that are just amazing, drop you down to the floor, drop you cold,
Yeah, it's like stop and think about this one for a second.
yeah. And it's is he a soldier? Yeah. Who's he going to fight now? I think it's more okay, being that there's no struggle here between the Predicons and the Maximals as they are now. What is he going to do? Who can we trust him? And Rat Trap says he originally signed on board with us because we were going to win.
Yeah, he signed on with us because we were going to win, not because he believes in what we believe.
And there was an earlier discussion on the probe episode around those same lines. He's like, well, why wouldn't you want to go to Cybertron? And he's like, listen, it doesn't matter. We go to Cybertron. It doesn't matter if I've been fighting side by side with you. I'm still a Predacon. This is who I am.
Yeah,
and
they're going to view me as a criminal because of his involvement in the heist of the Golden Disc.
Yeah, and his belief systems and everything else are around the same. So, But yeah, so he goes and just wanders off, and then we come across. He comes across another section of the ship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Cheetor decides to be gross.
Yeah, man.
This is morbid.
What a morbid sense of humor.
Yeah, this is really morbid.
So, like, Dinobot, like, I mean, of course, he's still, like, walking around the Darksyde, and he's still on guard, and then all of a sudden you see Tarantulas' legs kind of pull up around his shoulder. And, like, he turns around and says, what? And he's ready to just go to action, and then it's like, Cheetor's just waving the dismembered legs
Tarantulas.
of Tarantulas.
Yeah, Tarantulas' old, gooey, sticky, wet legs. And he's like, where did you get those?
Yeah, like, how dare you? And it's like, I mean, if you think about it, like, really, it's like, dude, it's honestly, it's like going, like, after a freak bombing, just grabbing and
grabbing
playing
some
with
body parts and playing with
it.
It
reminded me kind of the scene in Tropic Thunder.
Didn't see it.
Okay. There's an epic scene, and I'm not going to bring it up, so I don't want to spoil it, but you need to watch it.
All right.
And if for all you guys playing at home that have seen it, you know what I'm talking about with dismembered things and being very inappropriate. In any case, but yeah, so he's like playing with it, and then Dinobot grabs it, and he starts
quoting Shakespeare. Yeah. Quotes it well.
Hamlet, yeah.
And he does that line is almost always misquoted.
Yeah.
As I knew him well.
Yeah.
But it is I knew him Horatio.
Yeah.
You know, and he says I knew him Cheetor. You know, Tarantulas, I knew him Cheetor.
And like, I mean, the quote from Shakespeare is talking about how, you know, I've rode on his shoulders so many times, and everyone, how he used to make people how everyone used to laugh.
Yeah.
And because he was a jester. In this version, we have Dinobot basically saying, what was it? So many victims has he hunted with these legs, or what's the other word? Stalked with these legs. And I'm like, victims? How many victims? Okay, he didn't have this spider form until they got down to the planet. How many people did tarantulas kill? None. I don't think anyone.
Yeah, not in that beast mode.
No.
Not in that beast mode, maybe.
No. I mean, not even a robot. No, I mean, we still have all the Maximals and all the Predacons. Nobody has died.
Yeah, but we don't know what he's done on Cybertron.
Yeah, but he didn't have those legs.
No, he didn't have those legs.
He didn't have that form. So holding those legs from that form...
He killed lots of bugs. And rats. Yeah.
Okay.
Roll out.
Yeah, all right, fine.
Either way, he's sad. I mean, these were his friends for a minute.
Yeah.
You know. Whatever.
So, yeah. So we cut back, after grabbing all the parts and everything, we cut back to...
the Maximals are fixing the ship.
Yeah, the Maximals are doing their 80s montage of fixing the ship.
Yeah.
Prime, oddly enough, can't remember.
They're blasting Oingo Boingo, and there's a hilarious bit where Cheetor is painting the room that Rat Trap already painted. They laughed and laughed.
Yeah. There's a point where Optimus Primal, I guess, forgets Tigatron's name.
Yeah, he calls him Tigertron.
Yeah, Tigertron.
Yeah,
call Tigertron.
Call Tigertron. Yeah.
Have him come back in because we're going to be getting out of here. And eventually they do. They get the ship up and running. They're talking about, like, okay, we're about ready. Tigertron gets there. Tigertron has reluctancies about being inside the Axalon.
Yeah, he hasn't been on a...
I haven't been in like,
an artificial construct or something like that.
It feels strange to be inside an artificial structure.
I mean, you know, and you gotta figure this probably has been going on for months now. The Beast Wars.
Yeah, okay.
You know, well, even if we are, you know, just like, you know, you had said a while back where if we just take for granted that there is a week in between episodes that aren't a two-parter, we're like 12 weeks in almost, 11 weeks? Is this 11 or 12?
Well, this is 12. 12 weeks in.
Yeah, so this is 12 weeks in, so that's like, you know, 3 months.
I mean, we're in the same cycle here.
Yeah.
We're, you know, every episode's a week. And
Yes, and we don't record more than one in a night.
No, we don't.
No.
Never.
Because that would be messed up.
No, yeah.
So they've been out there for like 3 months, you know, and in the very least, Tigatron has been out just being a kitty cat for 2 months or something like that.
The Lady Tiger.
Yep, with the Lady Tigers and
Tiger
everything.
Lady!
Who's back at home wondering where the heck Tigatron is. He's I'll be right back. I'm going to go to the store and get some milk.
Yeah.
I'll be right back, baby. I got to go to the store.
Hey, honey, I got to go take care of something real quick.
This is where we find out that that Dinobot doesn't want to go with.
Yeah.
And this is the second
everyone's
time
like, about time he showed up, because Tigatron got there, and then Dinobot's the last one to show up. And Rat Trap's like, oh, this guy, like, you know, whatever, I don't want to see your face or whatever.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait to get back to Cybertron so I don't have to see
yeah,
you.
so I don't have to look at your face or whatever. And he's like, well, you won't have to see me anymore. And then, like, Prime's like, wait, what? Like, what do you mean? Why are you, what? You're not coming?
He's like, yes, weren't you with us last week when I told you that I don't want to go back to Cybertron?
Do you even listen to anything that I say, man? Like, I tell you, I open up, man. I open up and I give you all these nuggets of me, man. I'm like, primal, man. This is Dinobot. Here, open your hand. There it is, man. You got my heart. You got my soul. And then you're like, let's go over there. But it's like, dude, you're just gonna leave that there? I just gave that to you. You gotta. All right, fine, forget it. But yeah, man, I'm not going with you guys.
He's deciding to stay and rule. He's going to conquer the animals of this strange primitive world.
I guess. I don't know. Like, I mean, he decides to rule.
Yeah, it's a good leaving that he does.
Yeah,
you know, he says to my former commander, I salute you, and to my former comrades in arms or whatever, you know, it was an honor serving next to you and stuff like that. And then he walks off into the sunset. His credits roll.
Yes.
And Cheetor says, Dinobot. Which proves yet again
that the writing is horrible.
Cheetor voted for Dinobot.
You jerk. No.
Cheetor,
no, you know what?
Cheetor heart Dinobot.
All right, fine. I will admit defeat that my theory of who voted for whom and the secret ballot was incorrect, was flawed, okay? I'm sorry. Forgive me that I haven't seen this series 800 times before this viewing, Dale. Anyway.
I win. And went for the win for the good guys. And then we cut to Dinobot surveying his new territory.
Well, he decides to take a lap. He's like, all right, guys, well, I got to go think about some stuff.
Yep. He's walking, and his first act of dominating the planet is to attempt to step on a mouse, which gets away.
But then plows right into a cliff face and then falls down a hole. We
follow the rat or mouse or whatever it is down the hole, and then we start hearing chewing and slobbering sounds.
Yeah.
And we see tarantulas.
I was going to say a hobo.
Oh, yeah.
But no, tarantula.
The hobo from Hellraiser?
Yes.
The hobo dragon from Hellraiser.
So, yeah, we come across tarantulas, and he starts, he eats this thing. So it's like, oh, surprise, they're not dead.
Yep. Yeah, they didn't really dwell on like being like, oh, it's a big surprise so much. It's I love that interaction with him and Pterosaur because he's drooling on Pterosaur.
Yeah, after he eats this mouse and rat, you see the tail, like he slurps it up like spaghetti, which I don't understand because spiders don't really have mouths.
Spiders aren't really robots in disguise.
All right.
Yeah. Roll out.
Okay,
he's got a mouth.
Okay.
And Pterosaur's tired of him slobbering all over him. He says, just stop it. You're disgusting.
It's crazy. I want to get out of here.
Yeah, Tarantula says, quiet. I'm feasting.
I need to eat. Want me to starve.
I love when Tarantula says feasting. It turns out all of the Predacons are in this crevasse.
Yeah, and like squashed together apparently. Waspinator is like pushing on Tarantulas' abdomen, and just like pushing one of those. He's like, get this out of my face!
If Waspinator does not stop cuddling me like a stuffed toy when he sleeps, I'll eat him as well. This is your try. Yes, I will.
That's good. And
is that when Pterosaur really freaks out and wants to get the heck out of there?
Yeah, and then Megatron's like, no, you guys need to stop doing this. We're down here for a specific reason. And then we get exposition served on a plate with some ice cream on top.
Yeah, that's drive-by exposition. It's like, hey, here's the plot.
Yeah, it's like, okay, no, we're down here specifically. We rigged this whole thing just so that we could wait for them to fix their ship, and then we are going to mount an attack to take over their ship. And the reason why they couldn't detect us on scanners is because
Black Arachnia had an experimental device that they don't know how long it's going to work.
Prevention!
And then they're going to get the, they're going to go fly up into orbit and recover all of the stasis pods. So
And
they
then
can
make 'em
reprogram them
into-
as Predacons.
Yeah.
And then they'll have a real army with which that they can
Take
mount.
back to Cybertron.
Yep, they can mount a real attack, start a real war, and begin their plans of domination.
Just on a side note, while this is also going on, Pterosaur gets blamed for all of it.
Oh, because like he tripped over the wire.
He
or
tripped
something?
over the wire for the security camera, and I guess that's what
what cut off.
what cut off the transmission, and that's what caused the snow effect or whatever. Instead of the explosion.
Instead of the explosion exploding the camera.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
they're like, well, we wouldn't be down here in the first place if it wasn't for you tripping on this thing. It's like, how is this Pterosaur's fault?
Yeah, I don't know how that could have played out any other way.
Well, but at the same time, was it Pterosaur's grandiose plan to stage the
fake
show, the fake coup, the explosion, then hide, wait for the Maximals to repair their ship, and then go after them after they do that?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's Megatron all over it. I know, we could do this. Yes.
Just
But
don't trip
Megatron,
over the
this is-
wire?
Yeah, everything is foiled by just, you know what? It ruins the scene. And being that we both know how dramatic Megatron likes to be.
Oh, yeah. We
the
rehearsed our
theatrics.
lines. Yeah. He probably had like 5 really great lines at a monologue.
Yeah.
Before he like, stop fools, you're going to blow up you're going to hit the energon. Like in the old days when... This reminds me of a time when I was a little boy bot. And then he was just going to talk and talk about before he adopted the name Megatron.
Yeah. And that's it was his fault. Mm-hmm. I don't know. But yeah, so we
Yeah, I let that one go. I was like, well, that was dumb.
while that's going on,
Dinobot is at the top of this crevice looking down.
it's like, wow, okay. I just heard all this.
That was kind of another cute shot, man. You know, like they just kind of look up and they see, because you see it from like basically Megatron's perspective of like Dinobot up, off in the distance at the top of the crevice, looking over it, then standing up and leaving to run. Now the jig is up. They've got to get the heck out of there.
All right, everyone, get out of here. We got to capture him. I guess before he alerts the Maximals.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing another thing that bothered me.
Why didn't he use the phone?
Well, that too. Why didn't he like call them?
Yeah,
and
doesn't he
warn
have a
them?
comm
Hey.
link? You know, don't they all have, are they able to talk?
Well, he probably left it on the table before he left. He's like,
Oh yeah,
you guys, I'm not going to talk to you anymore.
Here's my
No
badge,
need.
my gun, and my radio.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
maybe it's like
no
he
more robots on the planet. I don't need
rips
my
it out of
radio
his
anymore.
head.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, why didn't he radio? But at the same time, how flawed was their plan if they planned on sitting down in that crevasse longer than when Dinobot found them? Because when that happened, the Maximals were all packed up, ready to go, and like already taken off.
3 minutes. They're firing the thing up, and that was a little cute shot that I don't know. It was kind of subtle, but Optimus Primal is like, all right, let's do this thing. And Rhinox is like, okay, power up. And then there's a little beep, beep, and there's a red button, and he pushes the one button, and it turns green.
Yeah.
And then the engines start, and then they're like, all right, now we've got 3 minutes.
Yeah. It's warming up.
Everybody sit and wait.
Yep. But yeah, it was just kind of funny. So Prime sees on the scanner, he sees Dinobot like running towards them, and everyone's like, "Hey, look, he's coming back!
He's coming! All right!"
All right, he's coming back.
And it's
Cheetor is really happy. Cheetor is really happy to see Dinobot.
This isn't working out, Ben. I'm out of here. You can do your podcast later. You do it by yourself now.
Score 2 for the good guys.
I'm just kidding. So they go and they're like, all right, and then Primal's like, okay, no, wait, he has company. We need to go get him.
Yeah, all of the it's like Indiana Jones, man. Start the plane, John.
Start the plane, John. What? Just start the plane.
And all the natives are chasing him and throwing spears at him. And they, oh man, Megatron
They
gets
mess him up,
good.
man.
Did you see the hole in the back of his back?
Oh my gosh, yes.
It was just gaping.
He was missing like his entire spine.
Yeah, his
like
whole.
if he had a spine.
Yeah.
I mean, most likely. I mean, he has like a underframe.
Yeah, he has a something.
Carriage.
Yeah, but yeah, his undercarriage was wrecked. It was just a big, just tattered hole. It looked like a blown up pop can.
Yeah.
And there was just nothing left in that.
He could not really move, and he could not hold himself up straight, and which you see a little bit later.
Yeah,
but,
he just rolls over and starts laser eyeing everybody.
Yeah, and it's like it's like a seal. Because he can't move his legs, he's like twisting his body in a weird way, so he can just kind of turn his head and use his laser eyes. Because when he gets shot, he loses his spinny sword.
Yeah.
So Prime starts getting ready, and he's like, okay, and he grabs a shield. He's like, I'm going to go out and get him.
I like the riot shields that they had. Random riot shields, or random.
A random.
Yep.
It's a brand. A random. TM.
A random brand. It's a registered trademark of Acme Co.
Yes. So Prime goes out to get him, grabs the shield, and then Cheetor is like, "No, wait! I need to go with you." And he's like, "No, you stay with the ship. I'm telling you."
Yeah, you better get back to Cybertron. But Cybertron won't be the same without you, Big Bot.
And besides, we could do this other thing that we were actually supposed to be doing. And that's, kind of what, and then Optimus Prime was like, yeah, okay.
Sounds good.
All right. Yeah.
All right, come on. Well, hurry up. We haven't got all day.
Yeah, we got to hit him hard and fast.
All right, so hit him hard and fast and let's go. And then Tigatron is like, I can't stand idle while my comrades are going out to face the enemy. Tigatron, maximize! And then he gets up, and then Rhinox has just had it.
Yeah, he puts his foot down, literally like, no, you stay. Sit back down and get the guns ready.
We are going back to Cybertron, and I need you in this building. the only bot that didn't volunteer to go get Dinobot is Rat Trap. Rat Trap's just like, oh well, hey, all right.
With them gone, the ship's lighter, right? In theory,
we can go
take
faster.
Off faster.
Yeah, we can do this faster. No big deal. It's all right.
But yeah, so he sits down. He starts getting the guns ready, and then Primal decides the best course of action to expeditiously grab Dinobot and save him is to fly really, really slow.
Yeah.
While everyone's shooting him.
Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah. Well, when he's got the riot shield up and Cheetor's laying down some cover fire
If he
for
can
him.
fly fast with Rat Trap on his back, I'm willing to bet that a riot shield does not weigh as much as Rat Trap does.
No, but they weren't getting shot at.
But at the same time, a moving target is a lot harder to hit than one that's very pacedly, slowly moving towards whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
In any case,
he's a science officer, not a military tactician. Which Dinobot reminds him of when he lands and gets Dinobot. He says, "This is not. I've got to tell you, this is not strategically sound."
He's like, "Really? You can tell me about it when we get back to Cybertron."
And then Pterosaur gets Optimus.
Yeah, Pterosaur shoots Optimus in the back when he starts picking up Dinobot.
Yeah.
And he starts flying back up. Pterosaur shoots him in the back. That infuriates Cheetor.
Yeah, who drops his shield and starts shooting randomly.
Yeah.
As if Pterosaur is in 4 different places.
Dude, he goes into full-on Stormtrooper mode. Like, he's not even just... not hitting anything.
And who got Cheetor? That was something that I missed. I missed who got Cheetor.
I believe it was Megatron.
Oh, okay.
I think it was Megatron's mouth laser.
Okay, mouth laser got Cheetor.
Yeah. And that completely just knocks him out, like, takes him out. Knocks him backwards.
What fight were we watching? Does it happen after this? What fight happens where we saw Megatron's hand inside the tail gun? That was probably in the ship. That was something that I was like, oh hey, cool.
Okay,
because it's a little detail. He's always carrying his tail in his left hand. And
you don't really know what it is. It's just like, okay,
but there's a hand in there.
Yeah.
Oh man, they looked so good in the dark. The opening scene with the when they were gathered around that energon crystal.
The energon crystal.
Yeah, the animation, the quality of all the characters was just so vibrant. I think that it's just when they're outside. When they're outside in that artificial sunlight, that's when they start
the
looking a little
volumetric lighting fading. You don't have dynamic lighting. You have volumetric lighting that is casting too much light on the scene and washing out the textures.
Yeah. But they look good.
In any case, so they get taken out. Prime is starting to short a little bit. He transfers into beast mode. Cheetor drags himself back onto the platform.
Yeah.
At the same time, the Avalon starts rising up.
Yeah, the Avalon is coming up. Tigatron shot... Yeah, and Tigatron had just shot all of the Predacons.
Yeah, Tigatron just got the guns back up. And starts taking out the Predacons, one by one.
One by one. I was... I felt a little bit of anxiety there. Because he got them slowly, man. All the guns were firing. But it was just one, and then another, and then another, and then another, and then finally Megatron gets got, and then he's catapulted for quite a while.
Yeah. And then we have this very Saving Private Ryan-esque scene where we have Cheetor on the platform, trying to get them to come. You have Dinobot slumped over in a transformed into beast mode Primal, and he's carrying him slowly to the platform, and he's not quite making it. And thank God that Primal has been spending his off time learning how to do layups and other basketball shots from the free throw line, because he takes that moment and he throws Dinobot.
Yep, throws Dinobot all the way.
As you could probably hear from the vernacular, I'm very affluent in sportsing. So he does a layup.
I am also a big football fan. So he nails it. He throws Dinobot, mostly corpse, all the way up, lands on top of Cheetor, and then he jumps.
Yeah, he jumps.
This giant monkey jump.
And he's short.
He's got game.
He's short, though.
Whatever. Well, gorillas can jump.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they can.
Yeah.
Why he didn't go to Prime Jets and then...
probably because he was just shorting out.
Maybe.
Too soon.
Maybe too soon.
Too soon. He might have shorted out mid-transformation, got stuck with his hips all twisted up, all messed up. Then he wouldn't be going nowhere.
Yeah.
He would get one leg transformed, and then he'd activate that jet, and it would just flip him upside down.
Nice. That would be great. Pinwheels.
Just pinwheels out.
Nice.
Yep.
But he makes a jump, and he's short. And then we have Cheetor reaches out and catches him.
Yep.
And then we have a backdraft, you go, we go moment. And then Scorponok pulls out his trusty rocket.
Yep, Scorponok. He knocks his pincer against a rock. It cracks open like a pistachio, and out comes this perfectly aimed missile that doesn't blow anybody's arm off, but it knocks Primal's hand out of Cheetor's hand.
Yeah, it was just enough to just go bink.
Yep, just a swat.
And then we had a slow motion.
The shot of the show.
The shot of the show?
The shot of the show.
The shot of the show.
Yes, yeah. I love this shot.
Okay.
There's no audio.
No.
It's in slow-mo. It takes a long time. It's a lingering shot. You're hoping that Optimus Primal is going to transform before he hits the ground. You're pretty sure he's gonna. And then he doesn't.
Yeah, he dies.
Yep. As credits roll.
Yeah.
All hail Megatron.
And that was the end of the
Beast Wars. That's the end of the Beast Wars.
So the Maximals take back, get up into the atmosphere. Mm-hmm. They are able to contact the probe and Cybertron. They leave. The Predacons eventually come to finish off Primal's spark, and then and take over that planet. They never get off.
Yep, that mysterious primitive planet.
So that was episode 12.
Yep, and there you have it. Honestly, I swear to God, I wish that's how the episode ended compared to what happens.
Yeah.
This is why it was almost the best episode ever, because there was what Optimus' sacrifice at the end, him getting up there and then failing and getting shot and falling, and then just all of that stuff felt so good.
Yeah.
There were so many good scenes, great moments.
Yeah, and
great character development.
And there are still even more good moments a little bit later. Mm-hmm. But the very, very end, we'll get to it. But with this particular scene with him falling, I kind of wish that they didn't show him actually hit the ground. but I wish that they would implied it. Because, like, I mean, there would be ways to do it, like seeing him get closer to ground, and then like tight close shot of Cheetor's face,
Yeah,
and then
just
like
Cheetor's reaction shot.
look, and wincing, closing eyes, and turning away.
Yeah.
Even though he's not like blood and guts or anything, and like, for some reason it's just like, oh god, no, I can't look.
Yep. Ain't nothing we can do about that.
And then after he hits, like, do a shot of him just laying down on the ground motionless, opposed to what we did see, which was like fluid ragdoll, and then all of a sudden it hits the ground and becomes this static model that does not exactly line up to where the ragdoll model was like falling. It's really jarring.
Okay.
In any case, so that happens. They start getting brought up. And then we have Megatron booking.
Oh yeah, and Megatron is doing it. He's gonna grab onto the bottom of the Axalon like Luke Skywalker grabbing onto the last antenna coming out of the Cloud City.
Yeah, he runs and he makes us jump off the cliff. He grabs on one of the supports or antenna on the bottom of the Axalon, and then we cut to the control room, and everyone's talking about like, man. Like, oh, the elevator comes up, and you see Cheetor holding up Dinobot, and Dinobot's, like, slumped over in a very unnatural position. And they're like...
He's all jacked up.
He didn't make it. And everyone had this, like, moment of, like, oh, man.
Heavy moment.
Yeah, and you kind of felt it. Like, you hear the engines in the background, they're climbing, there's this big, huge sacrifice, moment. It was like, man, this is incredible. This is... powerful and just moving, and then sure enough Megatron shows up, and then we have a scene play out that was like OK Corral or a scene from
any number of great westerns
or the Godfather restaurant scene. Where I mean it's just like he just starts laying waste and starts.
Yeah, he messes everybody up extremely quickly, like with not really dilly-dallying.
No resistance, no problems.
He's not going to make a speech.
Which is odd.
Yeah, he shoots everybody. Everybody passes out. Only one left is Rat Trap.
Yeah, and then Rat Trap's like kind of paralyzed in fear.
Yeah.
And he goes and he grabs Rat Trap.
Rat Trap was going to maximize.
And then he grabs him.
Rat Trap was going to get valiant in the last moments.
But didn't.
And now Megatron, since he is just alone with Rat Trap, he can...
He's like, I'm going to crush you.
Now I can talk. I'm going to crush you like a rat in a trap.
Yeah, and he starts actually
See what I did
him.
there? Yes. Yeah, and then he starts squeezing him.
And you hear crunching sounds and everything.
Oh, yeah,
you
that was
Rat
kind of
Trap,
brutal.
like, freaking out. And then all of a sudden you have this big, like, gut-wrenching, Rhinox loves Rat Trap.
Yep. He was my best friend. And he still is.
Yeah, and he's just,
Rhinox
not if I couldn't do anything about it. Or not a chance, he actually says, I think.
Yeah, something.
So he pulls himself up and out. He decks Megatron.
Yeah, he just kicks Megatron's face in. He punches
him in the face, drops him down on the floor, starts, like, curbing him, basically.
Yeah.
Kicking his face into the ground. He has him, like, completely, like, upside down. He shoves his body into where the elevator
shaft and stomps on
him until he, like, finally, breaks the elevator.
Sends the elevator out, knocking Megatron out of the ship.
Yeah, and then Megatron plummets to his death.
End of the Beast Wars.
Yeah, but not before. And this is even more, like, compelling stuff. Like, this big, huge fight. And, like, Rhinox pulls his last bit of strength to do this. And Megatron, like, when he fell out, he was able to do something that was, fatal to the Axalon. Like, he shoved his tail gun or tail spear, whatever you want to call it, pole arm, into the console. So they start losing power. And it starts failing. The Axalon starts failing. And by this time, the Axalon has climbed up to, like, really freaking high.
Yeah, the Axalon is up there.
So the engines fail. And they start falling from the sky.
They start going down. By this time, everybody's kind of waking up.
Hey, everyone's starting to come
And then they start losing G's. They're hovering there. And this is a good shot, too.
Yeah, it is.
The Axalon falling out of the sky is...
And you have a lot of, like... Well, I mean, once again, moving moments. Like, things that happen... And demonstrate things and convey things without even saying anything. Like, other things are being said in the background.
Yeah, except for Rat Trap, who does say, we're all gonna die!
He says we're all gonna die, but as he's, like, floating, in 0G, in free fall, like, Dinobot is actually holding onto a console. Dinobot, just quietly, as he's talking about what's going on, he goes and he just quietly reaches over to Rat Trap and grabs Rat Trap to hold on to him. So he's not falling anymore. He's not free falling, and he's not, like, in open space. Mm-hmm. And then that's
where the episode should have ended.
Yeah.
No, this is the part of the script where somebody was like, Wendy, this show is 22 minutes long.
Yeah.
You have 22 minutes. You better wrap this up right now. Yeah. Also, it's a children's show.
Yeah.
You killed the leader of both of the parties, and now you're crashing their only hope at getting home.
And
please do something for the 10-year-olds watching this show.
So then we have Dinobot, as he's holding onto the console, he's like, what is that? Is that a bird?
And then Rhinox says, is it a plane?
And then everyone is like, no, it's... And then all of a sudden we cut to Prime.
Fearless leader!
We cut to Prime with his Prime jets flying up like Superman, one arm straight, and the other one cocked, and, you know, and then there's even, like, a fake Superman soundtrack, you know, the Superman theme going on in the background. And, like, he flies up, grabs the bottom of the Axalon, puts his jets to, like, uber maximum?
As much as he can muster.
I guess. Mm-hmm. To slow down the Axalon enough to bring it to a gentle resting position.
But at that time, man, even that shot, okay, so the Superman gag was awful. I hated it the first time I saw it. I hate seeing it every time. But when the Axalon is coming down, you see its landing gear breaking. You see that it's not settling. It's settling in such a way that it's not going to. It's not going to crack.
Yeah, it doesn't look good at all.
But like the things are getting more broken. You know, as it's coming down.
It's still bad. It's still horrible.
Yes, it's still horrible. Yeah, that's like the low point of the episode.
So Primal's able to, you know, gently put it down on the ground. He meets back up with the guys. He asks for a damage report. We kind of have like a very brief callback to the first episode, where he's like, "It's not good." In short, it's dead.
Mm-hmm. We're not going anywhere.
This will never fly again.
Yeah, this ship will not fly anymore. Yeah. And this ship was made from the parts that would work from the other ship, so neither ship is flying anymore. And
then Rat Trap starts laying into Dinobot.
Yeah.
And Dinobot's just kind of taking it a little bit, and then they start kind of bantering back and forth and arguing. And he's like, if you weren't in this regeneration chamber or whatever stasis chamber, you know, I would totally freaking, you know, take you out, blah, blah, blah.
I would mess you up. I'd like to see you try. And then
we cut to the outside shot of the Axalon.
And everybody's, the Cheetor and Primal were saying, oh, it's good to see that they're back at it. And Cheetor says, well, I wouldn't have them any other way. And then they laugh and laugh.
Yeah,
their hopes of going home have just been dashed.
I know.
There's so much tragedy has just like happened to them, and nearly happened to them. And they're just happy to be alive.
No, it's not even that they're just happy to be alive. Like there are so many different ways they could have done that. Mm-hmm. That scene, that specific type of scene, where it's like, okay, now they're bantering. Well, at least there's something that is back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
There are different, better ways that they could have done that, and it just came across as, you know what? Let's staple a sitcom ending to this thing.
Yeah.
And it just didn't fit at all with anything that lined up. Like the entire last 2 minutes or 5 minutes of the episode.
The last few minutes of the show was horrible. Wendy ran out of time to write this thing and was like, here.
And I don't think it was her fault.
No.
Like, the episode up to this point, my God, like, Wendy was doing some amazing writing. She did some, great dialogue. Coupled with Steve Ball's directing was phenomenal.
I dug it.
Yeah, it was great. And then they just ruined it.
Yeah, the ending was just stapled on. It was just like, we got 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Wrap it up. Optimus Prime is Superman. But all in all, like I said, this could have been the best episode so far because of all of those factors. The character development inside of it, the way that the characters interacted, those details, like Dinobot grabbing Rat Trap while they're falling, the long lingering shot of Optimus Primal falling out of the sky, the long lingering shot of the Axalon falling out of the sky, even the fight at the beginning with the Predacons. Mutinying. against Megatron. You know, the tension running high, people feeling lonely, stranded on a strange primitive planet,
and trying to figure out like what next, like where is the future is uncertain.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Even Dinobot walking alone in the desert for a second or so. You know, everything about this episode was excellent until Optimus Primal was Superman. You know? I mean that's what primes do, but still,
they do it a little bit more subtly. It's not as blatant.
If it was more subtle, it would have been amazing. If they did the ham-fisted things a little bit more subtly, if they handled the ending with the same delicacy that the delicacy. That's food.
Sure.
That's food.
Delicatessen is food.
No, that's a store where you get the food.
All right.
If they were more subtle with all the with the ending, you know, saying, well, at least, you know, hopefully we can get back to some semblance of normalcy or something like that. At least we have each other. I don't know, something like that, rather than the laugh and laugh sitcom ending. Would have been better. Could have been a better episode.
Agreed.
Still was really good. By and large, the bulk of it was killer. The action was good. The damage on Dinobot was awesome.
Yeah, it was a very good episode.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it also. No real mistakes in it.
No.
Yeah.
And that's it. That was episode 12.
Yep, that was episode 12. The just victory.
Victory, yeah. So,
Yeah, next week what do we have?
join us next week. We're going to be talking about Dark Designs.
Dark Designs. That one's gonna be good. We'll have something that I've been asking for like 6 episodes.
Oh, God.
An episode about Rhinox.
Yeah,
We'll find
Rhinox episode.
Yeah, so let's just see how that goes. There's, I don't remember this episode in particular, but there's only one episode in this whole series that I remember that I don't feel like watching again.
Okay.
We'll talk about that one when we get there, but until then, I've been Dale.
And I've been Eric.
And this has been the Transformers Beast Wars podcast.
That you can find at optimusprimecast.com.
We'll see you next week. High five.